Tonight, from Commander's Field in Landover, Maryland, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Taking on the Seattle Seahawks.
It has been a cold and blustery day in our nation's capital, but we are ready for football at Northwest Stadium just outside Washington, D.C. Welcome again, one and all. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Brandon Gaudin on hand alongside Charles Davis. And yes, the storyline here, the weather. Snow and more of it expected as this game continues. So how will that impact how this one goes?
Can these teams ignore the distraction and the strangeness of playing in a snow game? Because it actually affects the crowd as well. That big roar you get is often muffled when there's a snow game. And the second part, what's the footwear you got on? Does that fit the turf you're playing on? And how will it handle as things get a little bit slick?
Here's the kicker, Jason Myers, to get this one started. And off we go in our nation's capital. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. Leading him out, their young quarterback, the rookie from LSU.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
First carry of the game for Brian Robinson. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. From the 35, back to work on 2nd and 4. To throw is Daniels. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3-and-out here on 3rd and 4. To the air goes Daniels. He dumps it to Eckler underneath. That he's brought down short. 2 yards there. Needed 4.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the 1st down. Now to be 4th and short.
So on 4th down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away. Back deep is Jalen Darden. It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
I still remember back in 2013 when he was drafted out of West Virginia. He was coming off of back-to-back 4,000-yard seasons for the Mountaineers. Hadn't seen as much game time in recent years, but at one point, a capable starter in the NFL.
Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They'll run. It's Kenneth Walker, and he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Now Geno. This is Fant on the short completion. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
I like how they worked the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Man in motion left. That's Smith and Jigba. Walker now on 1st and 10. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. Hopefully, obviously, nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Second and 9. Geno now to throw. Walker with a grab, left side. It'll be a gain of just a yard. And 3rd and 8 now.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
On 3rd down, here's Walker. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Seahawks will call on Michael Dixon on 4th down to punt this one away. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here, try to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the goal for sure. I don't think you sit on anything here. Here's your opportunity. Push it downfield. As you mentioned, it's a tie game. So minus a disaster on your part, you've got that in your back pocket. Go ahead and try and get some points and feel great going into the half.
Daniels now on 1st and 10. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Now a 2nd and 10. Daniels looking to throw. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. The Commanders going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Daniels. Dancing to his left. And I think the ball's out. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
Partner, everything that happened before that fumble was great. Good vision, navigated the open field, got good chunk yardage. At that point, if you see a defender coming, though, just step out of bounds. Don't risk all you picked up before the hit to just try and get an extra yard or two.
The Seahawks going to take over now late in this first half. And now they start in plus territory following that turnover as they'll try to get some points here before halftime. Following the fumble recovery, Smith. This is Fant on the short completion. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Now a 2nd and 6. Smith now to throw. Setting up the screen here. This is Walker. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. To throw is Smith. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
But certainly as a fan, you get a little bit nervous when you see him make those kind of throws. But they work on that in practice more than we know. And most of them now know their limits and know what they can get away with. And there's a completion right there.
This one into the hands of Metcalf. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. And with 1 second left, they get the timeout. And they'll have a chance to kick the field goal before intermission. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, just a 32-yard attempt. Myers' kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime. All we have to show for the first half, a lone field goal. 3-0 our score. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this 3rd quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the second half. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Seahawk offense set to go to begin this third quarter. Their defense has pitched the shutout. Now they probably need to deliver a little breathing room, maybe make it a two-score game as they've got it 1st and 10. Third quarter begins with a run by Walker. And able to use his stiff arm for a little bit of leverage before he's taken down. A pretty good gain. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
From the 38 now, here's 2nd and 3. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Walker with another carry, and he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. 2nd and 6. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily, fell incomplete. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. Dorrance Armstrong in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Now Washington down by a field goal. 1:53 remaining. They need, at minimum, 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. He's back to throw. Buying time to his left. And he's going to get out of bounds with the 1st down, so that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the 1st and save a timeout. That one checks all the boxes, doesn't it? You get the 1st down, check. Get out of bounds, stop the clock, check.
Bro, how about one last check? Keep your quarterback from getting hit. That's a big check.
Yeah, check there as well. Good call. Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Back to throw. He's got Eckler. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
This is 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Pass caught by Crowder. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
They'll come up now on 2nd down. He'll look to throw. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. Well, the elements, the crowd, the situation, this is NFL football at its best. Here's 3rd down. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as a tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 37. Nothing open downfield. They went underneath.
Yeah, see if you can get it to your running back. See if you can make someone miss in the open field.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Two timeouts still available in this final minute. It's 1st and 10 now. Robinson, he'll try the left side. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. They'll come up now, 2nd and 9. Back to throw. He's got room at the 30, and he'll be taken down at the 26.
I'm starting to wonder here, are they trying to prevent winning? Because right now, they're laying back and they're picking them apart, moving the ball downfield. I think they got to start bringing a little pressure towards the quarterback.
And now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Here comes an important one now for Austin Seibert. This to potentially send us to overtime. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So the field goal unit is on the field, as this is a big spot right here. This to tie things up in the final minute. And his kick here is good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. This hasn't exactly been a battle of one touchdown after the other, quite the opposite. But at 3-3 now here in the 4th, it's been an entertaining game considering just 2 field goals.
Yeah, is it really a football game now, or are we watching baseball? This feels like a pitcher's duel, doesn't it? Nice, intense, on the edge of your seat. Have you been scoring this one? A lot of strikeouts and ground balls in this one.
So overtime on the horizon, barring a wild finish here as the kick's away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. They'll start on the ground here on first down. Final whistle blows, and we need some extra time here to decide who will be the victor.
60 minutes, just not enough some days to decide who's going to win the game.
Conditions only going to get worse as we get back to football here to start this overtime. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Commanders' offense returning to the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
They begin the drive with Robinson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. He wasn't able to really get anything going in regulation. Maybe it'll be a little different story here in overtime.
And it appears that with that call, they want to establish the run in overtime, try and set the tone for what they're going to get done. And you're right, maybe it didn't work so well in regulation. Overtime could be the charm. And by the way, the yards count either way.
On 2nd down, another shot for Robinson. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
19 Tiger.
Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. That's a good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. Now a timeout called for by the offense. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. Now a first throw here in overtime. A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Here's 2nd and 10. A give left side to Robinson. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Third and 8 situation. A tough spot here in overtime on the opening drive. Now Daniels. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 33. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Throwing now is Daniels. This one caught by Crowder. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. One overtime. How about 2? We need another. We're still even. We'll switch sides and have that second overtime in just a moment. Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Working out of the gun, Daniels. And this is Ertz with it, right side. So he hooked up with a veteran there, and in overtime, that's not a bad idea. Go with the age and the experience.
Yeah, because sometimes the young guys, they give you the fresh legs and give you all that bounce. But in this type of a situation, sometimes those legs slow down a little bit as the enormity of the moment overwhelms them. The veteran guys, they tend to come through.
On 1st down, here's Daniels to throw. Quick slant to Brown. And the Commanders are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
Well, they've certainly not shied away from throwing the football as they've leaned on their quarterback to start this game. 4 straight passes right out of the gate, with that last one earning them a new set of downs.
A kicker fest so far, all points via field goals. They're hoping to change that right here. They'll look to throw again. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Another nice job there defensively. They've really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
And for them to do that, that means they've had to be cohesive on defense. Pressure in the quarterback's face. Good coverage of not just the wide receivers, but the tight end, the running backs when they try and slip out, and making sure they're at the point of attack. When the ball's in the air, they get there and help force some of those incompletions.
And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
All right, Captain, it's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fire another one into the end zone.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. And now 4th down. What do you do?
And after being stuffed on that play, it puts a little doubt in the minds of a head coach who has the football, I'm sure. Do we go for it here, or do we take the 3 points and continue to play on? Because you know he wants to get in the end zone. That ends the game. But I've been on the defensive side before. They've got to be energized right now and almost challenging them to go for it because they've got to be confident.
So they say forget the field goal and the lead. They're going for the win in OT here on 4th and goal. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And the lead is now 10-3. So that drive spans 13 plays. And it's finished off by a Terry McLaurin touchdown. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. From the end zone, here comes Jalen Darden. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 24. Throwing now is Geno. Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Credit that sack to Dante Fowler Jr.
And that sack, Charles, just looked like a case where a speedy defensive end is a little bit quicker than the offensive tackle.
Yeah, it makes it difficult for a tackle to determine what exactly to do. Do you do the kick slide and try and get back in the pocket and meet him there? Do you meet him on the line of scrimmage where they call a quick set? In any event, right now, he's having his troubles.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Smith. That is taken in by the tight end Fant. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Offensively, back-to-back really nice plays. This defense, they've got 2 timeouts, maybe should burn one.
Yeah, when you get back-to-back explosive plays, to me, anything over 10 yards, I don't care if it's a run or a pass, I count it as an explosive play. That sets your defense back on its heels. A timeout here would be a good idea and try and get themselves settled because we're in OT. This is big time.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 34.
Smith's going to throw it.
And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Smith.
Left side here taken in by Metcalf. And the Seahawks are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Here's Smith.
And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And a good job on the hold there as this is good through the snow, and this game is tied. So a tie ball game here.